Alright, next video. I don't even know what day we're on, so forget it. Most of the engine's all together there. The actual upper intake manifold just setting on there. It's not bolted down, no gasket in between or anything. It's just there for mock-up purposes, for hoses and such. New alternator, new power steering pump, crank pulleys on, water pumps all together, water pipes are all on there. Cam sensor, let's see. Another important thing, when you pull the cam sensor off, just scribe its location so you can put it right back where it was and kind of go from there. Valve covers are all in there. I painted them white. They're nice and pretty, and they got smudges all over them, but they're on there. Upper intake plenum's bare. There's nothing attached to it. Air vacuum regulator for idle air control. Water pipes. Alright, so I blocked them off. Those aren't just caps with hose clamps on them. I actually welded the tips on the inside too, but it's really thin metal, so I went ahead and just welded them up, then put the caps, and then put a hose clamp on them. So regardless, they're not going to leak. I don't like using the clamps back here with the rubber caps just because they dry rot after a while, but I don't plan on this engine having a whole lot of time out on the road. It's not really going to be a everyday driver or anything. So got those capped off on both ends, bolted to the water pipes that go into the heads, VTC solenoids, everything's all buttoned up on the valve cover side of it. PCV reroute, the exhaust side. The last one I just plugged. I'm kind of running out of time here, so I didn't have time to fabricate any plugs this time. So I went ahead and just routed those together. Yes, the hose is kinked. It has no purpose. It's just there to keep oil from coming out the exhaust side. I'm not going to be using the exhaust side anymore because on track days I tend to have a lot of issues with spilling oil over into the intake at high curving. So those are all, those are just capped off there. Then on the intake side, the piping that comes off the top here and just comes down and then kind of loops out. If you can see it right there, it just stops right there. Those I'm going to run the hose off of there and then kind of around and then back up into right here, which the PCV valves go right here. Those are threaded holes right there. I've got my new PCV valves over on the counter. I just haven't got a chance to put them in. I'm just kind of mocking it up for now. EGR delete pipe, I just cut off the pipe on both ends, then welded it up, and then just used that as a block off plate on both sides. Water pipe delete, same thing, just cut them off. You don't have to weld those up, nothing's going to come out of them. Just cut them off and clean them up a little bit so they're not all over the place. So that's kind of where we're at. Let me pull this upper intake off so you can see the underside. Set this down over here. Alright. So the other side of the engine, valve cover's painted white. There's the guide holes for the spark plugs. Got the spark plugs down in there. There's not enough light, you can't see. Lower intake, fuel injectors, hose on the lower intake there. That's all together. If you didn't see my video for proper injector removal and installation, then check that out if you're not familiar with it. And then same thing for the timing belt. I did a video for the timing belt as well. And that's about where we're at. Got to get all the hosing ready for the upper intake, get it all on the engine, get it all ready. Got most of the rest of the wiring harness undone. It's just kind of everywhere, so I can start cleaning the car out. That's about it. So next video we'll have, hopefully, well, the engine will be done next video, off to the corner of the shop, and I'll be working on just the car, so there's not much more coming. Today is, let's see, today's Friday. My transmission came in yesterday. It's at the place where I work, so I'll go pick that up. And then hopefully you'll see, in place of that nasty old thing, AAA High Performance Transmissions has sent me one, so it'll be ready to go in the car. Get rid of this nasty thing and get it bolted up to that and build me some slingers so I can get it all in there. Alright, we'll see you next time.